very talented, but if you really want to wow me today, you're going to have to show something extra. Little thing I've coined heart.
I think his mom, drank when she was pregnant or something.
Attaboy, JD. Hustle, hustle.
I believe in you, JD. Don't listen to those motherfuckers.
I know your heart's on the football field, but I need your head in history class, Mr. Vance.
Yes, Vance, yes.
That stupid freak will never make the team. He's a loser.
Fuck you, Gavin. You and your dad are both gay.
Damn it, Vance, I wish I had 100 of you. If only you could get those godforsaken test scores up.
If you ask a hot chick to prom, I'll give you a C because history smiles upon the bold.
Asking me for my permission to ask my daughter to prom is a really classy move.
Vance past history. Now let's go beat the shit out of the Soros High Goblins.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage I dot of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Tuesday, right before Tuesday night's main event. And we have a lot to catch up on. Of course, it's good to be back from Las Vegas. Happy to be here. And look who shows up in my chat, Dermy Wormy. Thank God I needed a detox in between Jer content. No one else is on, so I guess you'll have to do. Story of my life right there. Story of my life. Hey, no one good is available, so I guess we'll just check this guy out. Hey, whatever works. I'll take my wins however I can get them. Thank you, Dermy Wormy. Speed Force becomes a new member. Thank you, Speed Force, for the new membership. Hail to you. And yeah, there's a lot going on. There's this situation with Trump secretly switching planes. We're going to talk about that. CNN is praising Tucker Carlson for apologizing to Hunter Biden. Oh, yeah, of course they are. We expected that one, though. So no big deal. And not even a third choice. Not even. And of course, we have Tuesday night's main event, and it should be a fun one. We're going to have Dollar Store Beardo on, which is Mo. We're actually may have an appearance from someone I was hanging out with in Vegas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And it'll be a fun main event. We have a lot to catch up on with the gaming stuff. We'll get into that later. Cash Tester says Dermy is a D-Day Cobra simp. I'm not even going to dispute that. I'm not even going to dispute it because, of course, he is. Just like you are, Cash Kester. And I'm okay with that. You guys can play it up by talking sarcastically, to try to make people like, well, there's no, but we know the truth, okay? We know the truth. How the hell are you, brother? Little Jim Sailor says, did you see the replica Warthog someone built? I did. I've got that bookmarked, actually. Don Sir Leg says, get these beggars out of here.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
That clip is awesome. Somebody said, I'm here because Asman is banned. Well, listen, man, I'll take it. Whatever works. The Exalted Patriarch with a gifted membership. Thank you for the gifted membership as well. Clancy over on Rumble says, damn it, Jeremy. Early and straight is not like you. TXC Cam says sup. Big Z Video Games over on Rumble. Let's see. Jeremy, the fourth choice streamer. Yeah, pretty much. Tim Pool is why we are all here. Thank you, Tim. It is appreciated. It is appreciated that Tim basically gave us an opportunity to take advantage of him not being good to his audience. I'm okay with that. Absolutely okay with that. But yeah, a couple things let's jump into real quick, and then we're going to get into this Trump plane story that's got everybody all worked up, which is fantastic. But did you guys see the humanoid working with Trump? Trump has this humanoid. Now, the left basically took this as Trump was falling asleep again because they love that narrative. But nobody really cares about that narrative. Dermy says that Cash is a drunk, but is correct. I have a Jeremy body pillow and shrine next to my Gary shrine. That's nice. See, as long as you're willing to own it, nobody really cares, right? So all good. See, just own it, roll with it. Nobody can do anything. You know what I mean? It's okay. Dermy's doing a great job covering lolcows on the internet. We'll just leave it at that. But yesterday, this had everyone talking. So this woman sitting next to Trump moves her head and presses a device on her stomach at the exact moment Trump jumps up startled. So the narrative here is that Trump was falling asleep and that this humanoid woman, she basically pressed a button to wake Trump up. Okay. I don't understand it, but whatever. The left is so broken. This is where they are. But so you see, look how she's acting. Okay. And then they're saying she presses a button to wake Trump up. Oh, man.
Where the Autism Data Science Initiative, which started almost a year more, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological phenomenon. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the Secretary said, potentially genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why we've seen such a large rise in autism.
10, 9, 8, 7. 10,
dude.
9, 8, 7.
Dude, they are on some shit, man. Now, it really was weird. Like she was definitely very it was very confusing how she was acting, and of course that's caught everybody has like, here we go. Look at her.
In the mid-90s, something happened in the mid-90s that changed our children, and it has to be an environmental exposure because genes don't cause epidemics. They can provide a vulnerability, but you need an environmental toxin. And what the president has charged us with is finding which one of those exposures or which collection of exposures are causing this epidemic. For decades, I fought for a simple principle. When it comes to the health of our children, government has an obligation to follow the evidence wherever it leads. Tell the American people the truth and give parents the information they need to make informed decisions for their families.
So everybody's going crazy. Like, who is she? Is she a robot? Is she a humanoid? Did Elon build her? What's going on? You know, and the internet is going crazy with theories about this because, of course, they are. It's what the internet does. So welcome to the internet. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Here we go. This woman is a cyborg, one of Elon Musk's robots. Prepare yourselves for 2030. Stock up. You've been warned.
At the same time, we shouldn't be keeping kids out of school because they have made different decisions than other parents. Our European colleagues don't do that.
Dirk Mather says, if she's a robot, can I get one?
In public health has come because of these mandates that we.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not oblivious to the fact that I know exactly what every single guy is thinking right now. It's just like when what was that movie with Megan Fox where she was a robot? Megan Fox robot movie and Subservience. And so when I saw Megan Fox was in a robot movie, I immediately knew exactly what was going to happen in the robot movie. I was like, you don't cast Megan Fox in a robot movie. Like you don't cast Megan Fox as a robot without things happening. There's just no way. And so that was the exact thought right there. It's like, okay, I know where this is going. And so that's the same thing that everybody in the chat is doing right now. Everybody in the chat, when they're not looking for this robot to, they're maybe to make him a sandwich and a few other things. But what do you think? Do you think this is an Elon robot or not? I'm not sure. I have not decided yet. But either way, it's a little fascinating to watch this whole thing play out. So next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about this plane story. So Trump used a catering truck to take secret flight from Turkey, according to the Washington Post. Speaking of humanoid robots, here is Dylan Mulvaney. But let's listen in. This has been a pretty big story.
Stunning new reporting on an elaborate ruse to conceal the secret plane that President Trump used to fly out of Turkey last month. The Washington Post reports this tonight, saying, quote, an Iranian assassination threat against President Trump prompted an extraordinary operation in which he flew secretly from Turkey on an alternate military aircraft while the White House said he was aboard Air Force One. If you look back at the video from that day now, you can see how this clandestine mission played out. President Trump was seen boarding Air Force One at 8:24 p.m. local time on July 8th. But actually, according to the Post, and you can see here, Trump and several of his aides were secretly shuttled minutes later onto this airport catering truck, which was elevated and positioned at a door out of the view of the cameras. Now, the Post reports that the president was on that catering truck when it pulled away from Air Force One at 8:30 p.m., secretly bringing him to a smaller plane, an Air Force C-32A, making the Air Force One that everyone thought he was on a decoy that still had the reporters who thought the president had boarded that plane and who you see boarding right here on the right, and some White House staff aboard. The Washington Post reports, and I quote, the maneuver meant that the president's actual location was concealed from the American public and many senior U.S. officials for hours. Air Force One then landed in the UK hours later. Now, it's still not clear, as the Post notes tonight, how the president was transported from that other secret plane.
So Trump basically played all of you, and now you're, I don't even think that they should be reporting on this, but the fact that they're reporting on this shows you how much they hate Trump. And, they're very upset about it. Now, right here, Trump hid in, let's see, right here. Trump hid inside a catering truck in a secret plane swap over Iran threat.
Donald Trump was reportedly smuggled off Air Force One in a catering truck last month, in a dramatic security ruse designed to protect him from a potential Iranian assassination attempt. The deception operation took place as the president was flying back from a NATO summit in Turkey on July 8th. Footage from the night shows Trump boarding a former Air Force One jumbo jet. He is then reportedly shuttled minutes later into a smaller plane via an airport catering truck typically used to load food and supplies onto aircraft. Reporters on the plane were not informed that Trump would not be flying with them.
So the reporters were not informed. So they basically got used as bait. And I think that really upsets them a lot. And I think that's freaking hilarious.
Turning them, along with some White House staff, into unwitting decoys. Trump is then shuttled onto a smaller plane, an Air Force C-32A, which the catering truck can then be seen parking alongside. The traveling press corps on the old Air Force One model, unaware of the maneuver, were asked to pull down their window blinds before departure. A small group of top government officials had knowledge of the deception plan, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and General Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. When asked later by reporters why they needed to keep their blinds closed, Trump made a dark joke about the threat posed by Iran.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force One?
I have a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right? So perhaps someday you want to change professions.
It's not clear how Trump moved
I
back
go,
to the
you
Blue Air
go.
Force One plane after
What?
the landing, but he
What an amazing answer to these lying pieces of shit media. What an amazing answer. If I go, you go. That is fucking awesome.
threat posed by Iran.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right?
But was there a
So
specific
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
It's not clear how Trump moved back to the Blue Air Force One plane after landing, but he appeared before television camera crews and descended the external stairs at around 10:56 p.m. Following a short stop at the Mildenhall Royal Air Force Base in the UK, Mr. Trump then boarded his Air Force One jet, which had newly been gifted to him by Qatar, and completed his journey to Washington.
Now, the White House is not denying the report. White House not deny report Trump switched planes to avoid Iranian plot.
A new report says President Trump evaded an alleged Iranian assassination plot last month by secretly switching planes. He was whisked away in an airport catering truck, and the White House is not denying this. Jackie Heinrich with more details at the White House. Jackie.
Harris, the day this reportedly happened, the White House made no mention of the threat to the president's life, but led the press to believe they would be traveling alongside the president on the legacy Air Force One, the old Air Force One, so the new Qatari jet could be shown off to U.S. troops stationed in Britain. After boarding in Turkey, they were told to keep their window shades down, and that's when the Washington Post reports President Trump was taken off the plane, loaded onto a catering truck, and put on another plane, an Air Force C-32A. And quote, that made Air Force One a decoy with media and some White House staff aboard, the official said. We've just reviewed archived footage from that day, and you can see the catering truck behind the old Air Force One before takeoff. When the press landed in the UK to refuel, the Post reports Trump was loaded back onto the plane. And that's when reporters asked him why they were told to keep their window shades closed.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was not your. Well, yeah, because you're, probably in a dangerous way because of the space bags that we have to do.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force One?
I mean, this right here, again, this is why I always say, like, just apply common sense to the situation. Just apply common sense. Common sense tells you that if they are constantly going after this man, we have never seen a president in our lifetime facing the amount of threats that this man is facing. We've never seen it. So common sense would tell you that, man, he's really upsetting a lot of these people. They really don't want him in power. And they are having to go to extreme measures to protect him. All you need to do is apply common sense to it right there. So that destroys all of the nonsensical lies and all the bullshit out there. Just apply common sense. Simple as that.
All the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right?
There is some historical precedent for concealing the president's whereabouts during critical threats, but in those past situations, the administrations revealed the president's whereabouts either to the pool as it happened or after the fact. Neither happened in this situation.
By the way, are you guys having the chat disconnect? You see this? My chat keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. It's been happening the entire stream. Has that been happening to anybody else, or am I the only one seeing that? It's happened about 5 or 6 times now. So now is it just on my stream, or have you guys noticed it on other streams? It's very, very strange. So yeah, everybody's saying yes. Okay. So I'm curious if it's just my stream, or have you seen it in others? The chat is acting gay, not just you, says Captain JPS. Okay, yes, the chat has been disconnecting randomly on other live streams today too. Okay, cool. All right, so at least it's not just my stream. So that's good. Okay, let's go back to this.
As it is reported. White House Communications Director Stephen Chung told the Post, as the president has said recently, there are many enemies of America who have their sights on him, and we use every tool at our disposal to address those threats. President Trump has faced several attempts on his life, including most recently at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Harris.
Yeah, I'm looking at that list. About every 2 or 3 months, he faces at least 2 on record. July 24th
That is crazy.
being the first, obviously, in Butler, Pennsylvania. But the list is long, unfortunately. But a blessing. He is still there. Jackie, thank you.
I mean, and you see it right there in the bottom corner. 84 days until the midterms. 84 days. Literally right now, literally every single day, we could be getting news that Trump has faced another assassination attempt. Do you understand how serious this is? This is absolutely crazy. Crazy times that we're in right now, man. It's scary. It's very scary. And the closer we get to these midterms, it makes me very scary. I'm scared of all of it. Darth Gabble says, China's robotics is going to make a cool billion off of humanoids image. Probably so. Greg Kirby says, bro, the WNBA already has black men playing in it. Also, Odyssey made no money because the first weekend studios buy tickets. You have to be trolling at this point. I refuse to believe anybody's that stupid. But yeah, I guess they're buying in every country. I refuse to believe that you guys are stupid enough to believe that. However, I have been enjoying going back and watching all of my friends' videos on the Odyssey box office, all of the cope of them trying to act like this movie wasn't going to be exactly what I claimed it would be. It's been fun going back and looking at all of their predictions and then looking at the hoops that they've been jumping through to try to justify it. My God, man, some of you guys are out of fucking touch with reality. Old Salty Dog says, in a threat posture, the president doesn't decide anything. The Secret Service tells the president what to do. Libs are reaching as always. Polish Prince says that the brunette besides Trump is Elon's baby mama number 14. Respect. Rock Bottom says Megan Fox could play Laura Loomer in a biopic if that ever happened. Ministry of Own thinks says they're literally trying to twist Trump escaping an assassination attempt into a bad thing. You don't hate them enough. 100%. In fact, we got this right here. Exclusive video footage of President Trump swapping planes in Turkey to dodge an Iranian assassination plot. Here we go.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
This is going to be fun. Look at this beautiful day.
Best flight ever, right?
Yeah. Woo!
After you. Let's move. Quick and quiet. Yes, sir. Perimeter clear. Good. We're going straight to the car. Stay sharp. This is important. Affirmative, sir. We've got you covered. We sure fooled those fake news sons of bitches, didn't we? Yes, sir. We sure did. Job well done, team. Outstanding. Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, man. Yeah, so seeing their reaction to this has been pretty great. I kind of want to continue this CNN video to see what their cope is here.
Back onto Air Force One after it landed. You see here the reporters captured the president getting off the plane that they thought he had just flown on with them to the UK, and he's seen coming down the stairs just before 11 p.m. After greeting American service members on the tarmac, Trump got on the new Air Force One jet. That's the one that was given to the president by the Qatari government, and then he flew back to Washington. Now, the plane that he's getting on here is not to be confused with the old Air Force One decoy or the military plane that he flew on secretly. But it was when the president got back on this plane to fly home to the U.S. that he was asked by reporters why they had been told to lower their window shades on that first flight, which is extremely unusual and not typically something that happens for the press that sits on the right side of the plane, which is where that airport catering truck was now that you look back at that other video. But given what we know now, given the pictures that you can see now, It makes what the president told reporters in that gaggle afterward all the more noteworthy.
You're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would they? Do you know why they had us close our...
This is probably my favorite thing Trump has said now, because of him saying, if I go down, you're going down too. Like, this is phenomenal.
Our window blinds, that was not usually. Well, yeah, because you're, probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
They think that Iran was possibly thinking of targeting.
Well, I mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done.
Why is everybody reporting on this? Because they hate Trump. And my thing would be the spin that I'm going to put on this is proof, because there's a lot of people that are out there, a lot of people that were on the MAGA bandwagon that were pushing this. They're trying to push this narrative now because they were never true MAGA, that Trump is part of the establishment and he's working with the Democrats. And look, they hate Trump more now than they've ever hated him. And this is more proof of it. We have never seen a president in our lifetime dealing with this level of security problems. All of the threats that he's facing, they want him dead.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
Well, I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right?
But was there a
So
specific threat today?
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
If I go, you go. Though the president wasn't actually on the same plane as the reporters who were asking him that question. And when they asked him about why they had to lower their own shades, the president said, well, he wasn't told to lower his. Well, he was on a secret plane. He was not on the same plane that those reporters and some White House staffers were flying on.
So he used all of you as decoys and bait. My president right there. That is my president. He used all of you clowns for the useful idiots that you are. And now you're all pissed off about it. Nobody cares. Piano Dean, it says, don't the reporters and CNN understand he did it to protect them so Iran would target the other plane? Jeez. BC Baz says, Tom Trump, Donald Cruz. Sith Lord MAGA says, do these idiots not realize that they're always two Air Force One planes with every POTUS trip? One is always a decoy. They don't care.
Joining me tonight is one of the reporters who broke this story, Washington Post national security reporter
he looks
Dan Lamothe.
tough.
And Dan, I mean, this is a remarkable scoop and very thorough reporting here. Can you just kind of walk us through what you've learned here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most significant piece here is that for weeks now, the American public talking about the two Air Force One jets, the newer one from Qatar and the older one from the last couple decades of operations. And in reality, the president was on neither plane. This came to the Post in part because individuals thought that there was a hole in public understanding here that needed to be clarified.
I mean, it also, just in terms of how they came up with this, I mean, you know, a big question is going to be how unprecedented this is. The idea that they would take the president, not only put him on an alternate aircraft, but use a catering truck at the airport to do so.
This is Mission Impossible level shit, man.
Yeah, you can see some creativity and ingenuity in how they were able to pull this off. And you know, I don't think there's any dispute here. I mean, Iran is a serious threat to the United States. Iran is a threat to senior U.S. officials that predates this administration. There is cause for concern. It's unclear at the moment what exactly triggered them to take these extreme measures. But either way, we've gone about a month now since it occurred, and until today, there was no public understanding of it.
Well, and you report that the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also boarded that C-32A plane separately using external stairs, which means people could see him boarding it. And you write that this is part of an attempt to make the flight appear typical. That's a plane that typically other VIPs, cabinet members would fly on. Do we know who else, if anyone, was on that secret plane with the president?
I can't speak at the moment with any specificity to who else was aboard that plane, but yes, Secretary Hegseth, I'm told, went up the external stairs, deliberately so, as a part of a larger plan to make it look like he was the senior official on that plane. The C-32s that they used that day are commonly used. The vice president uses them. The president uses on occasion domestically. I have flown on C-32s in the past with general officers. It's not uncommon to see VIPs on that plane. But obviously, when you have even the usage of an Air Force One call sign on a plane that the president is not aboard in that moment, that's remarkable.
Well, and that's actually a really good point because
they would never in a million years report on this if it was Barack Hussein Obama or Joe Biden. They would never report on something like this. Like, as a matter of fact, Biden was completely gone for like weeks at a time, and they never did any investigative reporting as to what was going on in that White House. They never cared. They never decided to do any deep dive to find out all of this, yet they find this shit out, and they are really upset about it. Welcome to the mainstream media right here. This story is being reported on because they hate Trump, and they want him to be gone. They want him out of there. And that is what they're doing, because this truly is affecting national security right now. And if President Trump gets attacked, and he probably will, he'll probably face more attempts, the media will be directly responsible for this.
typically the understanding is that any plane, any aircraft the president is on is Air Force One, or any helicopter that he's on, that's technically Marine One. But you said that the one that he was actually flying on had a nondescript call sign, while the other plane that everyone thinks he's on is still considered and still the call sign of Air Force One.
Yes, that's right. And then as we kind of backtrack some of the publicly available flight tracker data on this, you have the Newark jet from Qatar that landed with a relatively nondescript call sign a couple hours in advance in Britain. The C-32 simply did not show up in flight tracker data at all, at least in the publicly available information we had. And the Air Force One jet landed with the Air Force One call sign, despite the president not being aboard. There's a serious shell game of sorts that occurred there, to keep the president safe.
And were there White House staffers who were on the decoy Air Force One that also thought that the president was still on that plane?
My understanding is there was some White House staff that did not know. This was kept close hold in a small group. And obviously the White House press corps, which reported not only in that day, but in the subsequent weeks as well, that the president had traveled on the quote unquote old Air Force One. That's simply not the case, we're told.
You know, my colleague Barbara Starr, who is a veteran Pentagon correspondent, obviously you know her well, she made a good point about the threat level and what this speaks to, of how concerned that U.S. officials were about this. And she says this suggests that the U.S. believed the threat to the president was not just imminent, perhaps, but there was concerns about growing Iranian precision and targeting and advanced accuracy at range and altitude. She says if the intel was that credible, then was everything in place to carry out an attack? And if so, what has happened since to disrupt that capability? I mean, she's asking the question about just how serious this threat to the president really was.
Yeah, I don't have
serious enough for them to deal with it. It's not your fucking business. It is not your business at all. You do not hate the media enough. Simple as that.
Great clarity on what the specifics are that triggered them to take these measures. But I would note that as technology advances, as we have seen Iran and a number of other countries take on, aerial drones and a variety of other kind of munitions, the United States as a nation is just facing simply more kinds of threats, more exquisite threats that it did not have to worry about a handful of years ago.
Were you shocked as you were reporting on this to just be able to learn about this and confirm that this is actually what they did with the president?
Why aren't you worried about the fact that the president is facing yet another assassination attempt? Shouldn't that be more concerning to you? Shouldn't that be the thing that is the most concerning thing here, is that our president, who has been at the center of so many assassination attempts, is now yet facing another one. And you guys are worried about your feelings. Fuck off.
Candidly, this was a surreal story to cover. The initial discussions, the initial tip, and then looking into it, I kept finding myself saying, like, what am I missing? Is this true? Not an easy story to confirm. I mean, it obviously took some time since that event to put this on.
Yeah, I hate these people. Yes, I monitor the chat on Rumble. I see your dollar Rumble rant. Thank you. Yes, I see all my chats. I see Pre-Dawn Corpse dropping kicks over on Kick. He's dropping crazy amount of kicks over there. I got the YouTube chat pulled up. I got the Rumble chat pulled up. I got them all. So I see everything. Sith Lord says, do these idiots... Oh, I got that one. Darth Gavel says, won't someone think of the reporters? I know. And Jeanette says, hail, Jeremy. It's been a while. Sent you a little something on Google Drive. Hopefully you can download it this time. I do have it. It's ready to go for main event. Joe Bitts says, everyone Google the Smith Month Act. Taker says, Jeremy, look up the Archcast Lady Ballers and check out the thumbnail of the Archcast video titled Lady Ballers Becomes Reality. It's an all-timer. I will check that out. And Jeanette with the gifted membership, thank you. Graptars Hammer says they're probably most upset that they weren't able to leak Donald J. Trump's accurate location for hours. That is true. Andrew says the only reason CNN is reporting this is to give intel. You can't hate the mainstream media enough. Joe Bitt says, fuck the Communist News Network for showing this. Narco says, you owe us all money for making us listen to this silly woman. Here's $5, beggar. Thank you. I do have something we'll share really quick. We're going to move on from this garbage CNN crap because we got a story that's happening right now. And just as a heads up, it looks like we're probably going to have Marty O'Donnell on main event tonight. And of course, Marty O'Donnell was hanging out with us for the F&T meetup in Vegas. Marty O'Donnell just posted this right here. I am very disappointed that, SAC Anime has disinvited me from a Halo 25 reunion at their conference next month. If you thought we defeated cancel culture in 2024, guess again. So Marty O'Donnell has been disinvited. Here's what they said. The promoter has shared that his LGBTQ staff does not feel comfortable if you attend the event. Based on your recently reported statements on the political campaign, they have rescinded their invitation to not cause any further staff upset. Are you kidding me? Not surprised at all. For those that are asking who Marty O'Donnell is, I see a few of you. Who's Marty O'Donnell? Marty O'Donnell is a legend in the gaming community. He created this right here. That's Marty O'Donnell right there. Yep. So, he is also running for a House seat in Nevada this year. He has been fully endorsed by President Trump. And so he's obviously, on the Republican side. So he's being canceled. He's being targeted because of that. We're going to have him on main event tonight. I hung out with Marty a lot in Vegas. And he could not believe the turnout that we had. So he'll be joining us tonight. I'm sure we can talk about what's going on with him right here. Oh, hell, Asman responded. Asman says, this is what these people do. Until conservatives are willing to match this energy and exceed it, They will continue to lose cultural ground. Conservatives are more concerned with preserving their principles than winning, a philosophy that ensures a future with neither. Yep. Asmongold responding right there. So it's absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to Marty. We're going to have his back. There's also some other stuff that, is going on with Marty that I'm not at liberty to say right now, but he and I talked a lot. So looking forward to talking with him tonight, hopefully on Tuesday night's main event, but man, fucking crazy. Just to be clear, I don't give a single fuck what your sexual orientation is. I also don't give a fuck if my political opinions offend you. I don't give a shit. Your identity means nothing to me. And it means nothing to 99% of the population. No one gives a fuck about you. All right? Now, the only thing I'll say about people that identify as LGBTQ+, if that is part of your identity, then you are a fucked up weirdo. You are an absolute freak. I don't care. And no one else cares what you do in the privacy of your own home or whatever. The moment that you make your identity part of who you are to other people, you're a fucking weirdo. You're a fucking freak. And I don't want anything to do with you. Like, that is so weird. No one needs to know this information. So if you're part of one of these little groups or whatever, you're a fucked up weirdo. Simple as that. And I didn't make that determination. You did, by making your sexual identity part of who you are. If you put it in your fucking bio and all that shit, you're a fucked up weirdo. Simple as that. And your feelings mean nothing to me. I don't care. I don't care about what you're dealing with. None of it matters. You don't matter. You're a pathetic loser. Simple as that. Speaking of the LGBT community, Roland the Wretched is here with $20. Hello, Roland. Good to see you at the meetup, Jeremy. I didn't think it was possible, but you were actually gayer than the last time I saw you. Weirdest thing was you following me to the restroom. You need to turn it down. Love you, big. Hail to you, Roland. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much. And congrats on all the gay sex, man. Let's see. Luther for 20 says, Jeremy, with the shape of that woman's mouth from CNN, it looks like it's like looking at the child of Howard the Duck and Leah Thomas. Good Lord. What? Yikes. Mar Millen for $30 says, as a non-binary attack Apache helicopter, I am offended by your hateful statements there, King Jeremy, the first of his name. Stream chat grift tax. Hail the 199. Thank you, Mar Millen. Hail to you, brother. Permaban anyone asking who's Marty O'Donnell. Not a bad policy, but no. But Marty was there. He actually signed a lot of copies of Halo. I forgot to bring my copies of Halo. So that would have been awesome. But a lot of people got their copies of Halo signed, and it was super cool. Tickle D's nuts for $1. Thank you. Cobra Commander says, why is Dylan Mulvaney interviewing people about the president switching planes? More importantly, why did you make us watch that crap? Lol. Thank you. Roland the Wretched says, almost a year as a member, helping your grift. Thank you, sir. Red Mage with 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Red Mage. Hail to you. Jewish AF for $1 on Rumble says, longtime listener, first time caller, checking to see if you monitor the chat over here. I have to. Mossad requires it, so I have to. Not my call. But yes, looking forward to hearing what Marty has to say about this. So we will have him on tonight. Also, this is these memes are happening right now with Trump and his new humanoid assistant. I love it. I'm here for it. I need more of these memes in my life. Dude, the Trump hair memes have been out of control. They've been out of control. You got this one right here. They're just out of control, man. Oh, man. And this is what the leftist media started. They had to bring up Trump's hair. They had to say that his hair had volume. And so now all of a sudden, here we are. Now, I did see this from TMZ. If the threat was serious enough that President Trump wouldn't fly on the original Air Force One, why was the plane allowed to take off with the reporters, White House staff, and crew on board? I got to hear this Cope right here.
The story of Donald Trump getting on a catering truck from Air Force One and then going on to a smaller airplane to leave Turkey is astonishing enough. It's scary that there was this kind of a threat. But one of the elements of this incredible story has kind of been tempered for some reason. I spoke to a couple of people involved in this story, and I am not sure at all why it's been tempered. I'm told there were more than a dozen members of the White House pool, reporters, along with a handful of White House staff and military personnel, in addition to the...
It's almost like being under threat is not a good thing. It's almost like that's nerve-wracking, yet all the media does, including TMZ, who actively cheered when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Never forget that. Every fucking time that I'm going to bring up TMZ, I'm going to remind everyone that their staff actively cheered when President Trump announced that Charlie Kirk was dead. Their staff cheered like it was a fucking sports game. Never forget that.
Uniformed flight attendants who were on the old Air Force One. And for some reason, they allowed that airplane to take off and fly to London through Turkish airspace when presumably there was a severe security threat such that Donald Trump could not take that state-of-the-art airplane to London. That's just unbelievable that if there was this kind of a threat, why would they let that airplane fly, Air Force One? Because the idea of putting Trump in the catering truck and then getting him onto another aircraft, well, what they were trying to show was that for all intents and purposes, people would believe Trump was still on the old Air Force.
So I have some tough news for you, Harvey. Donald Trump is more important than every single person on that plane. It's just the way it is, buddy. He's more important than you. He's more important than all your friends. He's the focus. Simple as that.
Force One. And if he was still on the old Air Force One and there was a security threat targeting that aircraft, the Iranians would have believed that Trump was on Air Force One. That was the whole point. And yet he wasn't, but these unsuspecting reporters, White House staff, and military personnel were on that plane and they flew.
Yeah, it's almost like security is an important thing, right, Harvey? It's almost like security is a very important thing. Yet we have people in this country that are unsuspecting walking down the street and illegal immigrants, criminals are killing people, unsuspecting Americans, and you motherfuckers in the media are building these narratives that they're just here to be peaceful. Fuck you. Fuck all the media. We don't care about your bullshit. Now suddenly unsuspecting things. Oh, people are unsuspecting. Suddenly now you're worried about it. When it affects you, go fuck yourself.
I asked somebody who was involved in the story, you know, why wouldn't they fake a mechanical problem and wait until Donald Trump was able to get through that area and get into safe airspace?
Because he's more important than you.
And then declare what happened. And they had no idea why that didn't happen. But the idea that these unsuspecting reporters and others, White House staff, just didn't know is pretty remarkable. And, you know, the other thing that's kind of interesting is that they almost always have some reporter on planes that the president flies to chronicle anything that might happen. From everything we're hearing, that didn't happen here. When Donald Trump went to another aircraft, as far as we can tell, there was no other reporter on that plane. But the big thing that they just have not answered is, why would you allow the old Air Force One to take off if there was that kind of imminent danger?
I love it. I love the cope that's going on with these clowns. So Donald Trump is smarter than all of you. Donald Trump is more important than all of you. And the sad reality here is the media is finding out just how much we hate you. We hate you. We despise you. We have no sympathy for you because you are the enemy of the people. And just because I think that it's necessary to play this one more time, this is who TMZ is right here. This is who TMZ is. All right.
Ex-employee
To
so perfect. If you're telling me there's cameras everywhere, and then this is how they react, employees of TMZ, when the announcement is made that Charlie Kirk has died, and then listen to his explanation afterwards. Go ahead, Rob.
Go.
That's the announcement. Exact second it was
Go to.
We're live streaming.
Oh, Rob, I don't
all
want you to
day.
show that. I actually want you to show the whole thing. There's another clip that I have that I posted in the notes, Rob. I don't know if you see that one or not.
Is this the one, Pat?
The one from Instagram. Play that one because I want people to see.
Dude, this story has, and I blame Candace Owens for this, but this story does not get the attention and the outrage that it deserves because the Charlie Kirk assassination has gotten so muddy with all of the bullshit. This should have destroyed TMZ forever. This story should have never lost traction at all. This is disgusting, dude.
10 seconds prior to that to see how it goes. Watch this.
Guess is we're going to see
they don't know yet.
an image of this guy.
There's just live streaming.
Possibly in the next
Watch
20
this.
minutes. The news
You'll hear
conference
it.
is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go.
The announcement is made.
Go.
They realize how
go
embarrassing
to,
this is. His partner's
have
going to the
somebody
back to
look
tell everybody
at
to be quiet.
the Fox.
Yeah, somebody go back.
Look, Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. He went to the back.
He went to
shut the hell up. Yeah, yeah. So now watch.
What did Trump say?
Okay, forget about this, Rob. Now go to, so the second. So then what do? They go on ChatGPT. Can you tell me exactly at this time that there was another crisis that took place in California for us to say that we were reacting to? They make the argument that they're reacting to, not you, Rob. I'm saying that's what they did. So they make the argument later on. Do you have the video of them saying what they were reacting to?
Yeah, him
I
and the
think you have
producer
it.
guy.
Yeah, and so this is when they're looking at it. Watch this here, folks.
We're live streaming all day during this tragedy.
Right.
When something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it.
I've reacted to this many times, but every time I bring up TMZ, I have to bring this up. And every time I watch this, I can't believe the level of lies
out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing. They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would not work here if they did. And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing. And for that, we are sorry. We apologize. We apologize.
We got caught.
You had to hear that.
Why don't you bring the people that were laughing and cheering? Why don't you bring them out to make their explanation? Why don't they explain themselves? I'd love to hear what they have to say.
And I get why if you're watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you it was
When
not
the laughter
about
was cheering,
that,
dude.
But it was horrible timing.
Okay,
And by the way, I
do you
get
believe
it too.
them?
Do you believe them?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So they're saying a car chase.
Okay.
This is the car chase. Let's just show you.
Yeah.
and you tell me if you believe them. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, let's find it.
Tell me if this is the kind of a car chase that you would celebrate and scream. Tell me if it's that euphoric. Go ahead, Rob.
We're showing you right there on the banner below. You can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely about to have with ABC News. He was shot in Utah at a college there. We've been talking about that throughout the afternoon here.
Rob. Okay, so he's not lying. They are watching a car chase, and they are reacting to a car chase because the announcer on the car chase said that Charlie Kirk is dead.
Thank you.
So Harvey is essentially in his mind, well, we're not lying. Go back 20 seconds again, Rob, and watch what happens. Go back a little bit more. Go. Right there. Watch what the announcer says. Here's the car chase that they're talking about. Temple City. Go ahead.
That President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died.
And that's where the cheers happen right there.
That we are
Yep,
likely
not the car chase.
have with ABC News.
So
he was shot in
So they're watching the car chase.
So, yeah.
The announcer announces Charlie Kirk's dead, and it seems like in all likelihood that's when they cheer.
You tell me
there's
what
nothing excitable.
While
going
that
on there.
second the car
This
chase.
isn't O.J. Simpson and the White Bronco.
Shane, Pat, that I'm sorry. That the first of all, disgusting of who they are. What TMZ like somebody an ex-employee.
They still like again. I don't know this for sure, but like they still work there. That's what I would assume. We've never heard of anyone getting fired over this, so they still work for TMZ right now. Horrible people. Disgusting.
Employee claims, these are claims all over that I saw on X, that the newsroom was filled with hateful, angry, progressive energy, and he said it would, without question, laugh at Charlie Kirk getting shot. Shame on them. Shame on them for lying. Shame, like, have the balls to just tell the truth. You know what, guys? We're freaking leftists. We're progressive. You know what? Charlie is a voice that says stuff that we don't like. We are happy that he was shot in the freaking neck in front of his family.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the entire organization. Let me tell you.
I'm saying what this guy's saying. It's filled with.
I'm gonna have to check PBD. Well, let me hear what PBD has to say right there. I am interested in what he has to say.
Hateful, angry progressives.
And I believe that.
Yes.
That I believe.
This is the guy, Pat.
No. I believe that exists.
Yes.
That those types of people are in there. This is the question I want to ask all of you guys. Do you believe Harvey's happy that Charlie Kirk is dead?
Yes.
I don't believe so.
I don't think.
Okay, first of all, okay. You as the leader set the tone for the culture that you have, okay? So regardless of whatever, like, do you think that I would have anybody connected to G&G that would actively cheer for the death of anyone like that? They know they can get away with that because that is the culture at TMZ. The culture is we hate conservatives, we hate Christians, we hate Republicans. We will cheer for them when they are hurt, harmed, or killed. 1,000%. Because you as an employee would never do that when your boss can hear it if he doesn't approve of that. 1,000%.
But that's his
Do
personality.
you believe the guy to the right believe he's happy Charlie Kirk is dead?
I don't think
believe
those
that.
two guys.
I think the guy on the right is actually fairly reasonable.
Mhm.
They're probably both on the left, but I don't think they're happy Charlie Kirk is dead. The question I want to ask you is the following. Here's the question I want to ask you, okay? You said the price of freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
That's right.
Okay, fair. We're not happy by the way those employees reacted. They're celebrating. These guys are not telling the truth. Harvey, respectfully, you're not telling the truth. You're telling the truth that they reacted to.
If Harvey didn't believe that, Harvey would publicly fire them. Because if he truly didn't find it, like if he truly doesn't agree with what they did, he would then go, this was an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed for my company, for my brand. And the people that are involved with that, all the people involved with that are no longer at this company. But the fact is, not only did he not fire them, he took up for them. He lied for them. He lied, and he basically tried to tell everyone that they were not cheering about with Charlie Kirk's assassination. He lied for them.
A car chase, yes, but they reacted to what the announcer on the car chase said, not the actual car chase. There was nothing exciting happening at the same exact second, the same exact minute to have that kind of a euphoric reaction. Okay? That's absolutely embarrassing. If you have all the cameras all over the place, that's your business model. Show the camera footage. You have it. What were they reacting to? You have the camera footage in the back. Everywhere in that facility has cameras. Number two, what should happen to those people in the back that were celebrating? You're operating the company. You find out somebody is celebrating.
Anyway, I just wanted to, we have to put a reminder out there that this is who TMZ is. So every time I bring up TMZ, we have to bring that up because they are just horrible, horrible people. And they deserve to constantly be held accountable for that. No doubt about it. Jeremy Wormy says, we all know Jeremy is okay with Biggs. If he wasn't, Beardo J and Mo wouldn't be on streams. Narcos says Trump's hair goes up to 11. Narcos for two $10 super chat says, without any inside knowledge, if there is a credible threat to POTUS, they will make a snap decision to move him. Keeping everything else normal is part of the security to keep POTUS safe. Since this move was leaked, they can't use it like this again because the enemy will take it into their calculus. Treason for leaking is in order. Agreed. I mean, again, media thinks that they're important. They're not. The reason that they decided to move Trump and didn't inform any of you is because you're not important enough. It's really that simple. When there is a threat against the sitting president of the United States, the leader of the free world. Okay, so let's actually break this down because the media doesn't want to talk about that, okay? Why would they do this? Why wouldn't they inform the media of the threat? Because we don't know if anyone in the media is part of the threat. We don't know. There could be an informant within there. We don't know. They don't know. And we can't assume. So until we have secured the situation and understood the ramifications of everything involved, we can't involve any of you idiots. Because that's the nature of security. And the fact that none of them are even trying to understand that shows you that they're not actually interested to find out the truth. Cobra Commander 2003 says, for 20, says, I think we should come up with no less than $25 million to pay left-wing journalists like Katie Couric to produce a documentary with references and sources in full context with no editing to justify claims made of Charlie. I like that idea. Listen, man, this is what we need: an investigative journalist like Nick Shirley to find out what happened at TMZ. We need someone to find out. How do we get the footage of them cheering the death of Charlie Kirk? We should never let this go. It's absolutely insane. I mean, it's disgusting. But sadly, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Candace Owens and, all her bullshit. Cobra Commander 2003 says, in other words, make them prove all of their BS lies and have it broadcast primetime everywhere. If they don't produce it, then it would be their best interest to leave the industry. I like it 100%. Sadly, we're probably not going to get to that point, though. Sadly. The Under Armour Gamer says, I saw something on Facebook that Trump denied aid to Oregon. Did you cover this? Sorry if you did. I took a few weeks off watching you and G&G. I don't know where that doesn't sound accurate to me. I don't know specific. I'm not familiar with this story at all, but let me just say one thing, and no disrespect to you, but generally when you start something out with, I saw something on Facebook, there's a good chance it was bullshit. It's kind of like that with all social media, but Facebook in general is fucking horrendous for fake news. Secondly, Trump denying aid to any state or any city doesn't sound like Trump. The thing about Trump is he wants Democrats to ask for his help. He wants them to ask for it, and he will give you all the help you need. All he wants is for a Democrat to say, Mr. President, we could use some help. It doesn't sound like Trump to deny help of anyone. That's just not in his MO. He actually wants it. So if you're willing to ask him for help, he wants to help you, but he wants you to ask it. And a lot of these Democrats simply won't ask him because of pride. John says, I thought the media was stunning and brave. They were almost under fire. Fuck FOTMZ and the media. Agreed. Jim P says the 80s Trump memes are like totally tubular, dude. Hail the 80s and the Snake Pit 199. Patriarch Eagle says, haven't been around due to working nonstop, but always glad to drop in when I can. Keep going, brother. Hail the 199. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hope work is going good for you, man. Tickle D's nuts for fives is on TMZ. It's almost like their propaganda is starting. Their propaganda is starting to affect them. Miniature Phone thinks is Harvey tried to cover it up for fuck's sake. How is it that not literally worse than condone? How is that not literally worse than condoning? Agreed. Random Logo says, did you cover the DEI professor and fraud in the UK? I am not familiar with that one. I'm just getting back in the rhythm of covering everything, so I'm not even familiar with that one. Now again, we do have Tuesday night's main event that's happening tonight, and it should be a good show. We got a lot to talk about, and it does look like Marty is going to join us to talk about his cancellation that he is facing right now, which is absolutely crazy. And that's going to be a huge topic for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Aaron says if Marty is going to be on, I'll be there. Play Fortnite. Krista really wants me to play Splatoon Raiders, and apparently that game is getting rave reviews. She said she would stream it with me if I played Splatoon Raiders. So I'm considering it. I like the Splatoon games. I like the multiplayer element of them. I guess Raiders is more of a co-op game, but people are really hyping that game up. So I guess, we'll see. The fuck is that? Splatoon Raiders? It's a Nintendo game. It's for alpha males. Alpha males only play that game. That's it. Hopefully you don't scare Marty off. He knows what he's getting into. He hung out with me all weekend in Vegas, so he knows what he's getting into. I gave him a heads up. No doubt about that. So Beardo clearly doesn't play. Well, Beardo won't be there tonight, but we'll have Dollar General Beardo on tonight. So we got Dollar General Beardo. So I'm very interested to see how the super chats are going to go tonight, because we're going to have Mo reading them. I don't really know how that's going to go, but we'll see. Tuesday night's main event is a different beast, though. That's true. That's true. But yeah, no Beardo tonight. But we will have IG Ben on. That's right. IG Ben will be there. So, Ocarina of Time hype. Yes, I am really hyped for it as well. We're going to talk about that because we're going to have Krista on. So she'll be there to talk about the casting with the Zelda movie and Ocarina of Time and all of that. There's some leaks with the Switch 2. So we will be talking about all of that. Okay, well, we're going to end it there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. A little bit of pre-Tuesday night's main event stream. And I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night's main event. I guess I can raid that one, and you guys can go hang out over there. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. Let me see if that, okay. So if you guys want to carry it over to the Tuesday night's main event chat, you can. I'll see you guys over there in less than 30 minutes. Have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.